companies, because their profit margins are going to be reduced and because of general economic uncertainty associated with their valuations, even public or private companies, they are going to put budget freezes in place, cost-cutting initiatives in place, and they're generally going to be scared to go spend a bunch of money. Instead of selling products and services, what you need to do is sell. Hey everyone, Ian Koniak, and I just lost $700,000 in market value in a period of 2 days. Okay, I say I lost market value because I'm not selling my stocks. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to sell in times of economic uncertainty, because the drop in the stock market over the past month, and especially the past couple weeks, is massive. We have not seen this since the period of the Great Recession or the period right after COVID. And this one I predict is not going to go back up very quickly like it did post-COVID. So I'm going to talk today's video about what I predict is going to happen in the world of sales, how you can sell effectively in a period of economic uncertainty, how you can prepare yourself to be able to thrive during these environments. I've been through this multiple times. I went through it with the dot-com boom. I went through it with the economic recession. I went through it with COVID. I've seen these times shape out, and they've always been great sales opportunities. But you need to upskill, you need to up-level, and you need to change your approach because it's about to get really hard. So first, let's talk about what's going on. So there has been massive tariffs issued from the United States to different parts of the world. And what that means is a lot of manufacturers, a lot of companies that rely on foreign goods to be able to build their products and services are going to have a much higher cost, and it's going to eat into their bottom line. Okay, for example, Apple stock just dropped dramatically because a lot of their parts to make the iPhone are coming from China, and those parts are going to be tariffed, and the imports are going to be, have a high tariff, which means their margins are going to be a lot lower because they're paying more money to be able to import these products, okay? That's not just manufacturing, it affects all sectors. And what you guys are gonna see in sales is that companies, because their profit margins are going to be reduced and because of general economic uncertainty associated with their valuations, even public or private companies, right? Market valuations have gone down. They are going to put budget freezes in place. They're going to put cost-cutting initiatives in place, and they're generally going to be scared to go spend a bunch of money, okay? Now, the way that you can sell this effectively, okay, is instead of selling products and services, what you need to do is sell assessments to look at ways for people to do more with less, to look at ways for people to be able to increase efficiency, increase profitability, reduce waste in their organization. Okay, so what happens a lot of times with cost cutting, right? Apple's not just going to go and say, here, we're going to make our margins 30% lower. What they're going to do is you're going to say, we need to cut costs. And that's often layoffs, that's often budget freezes, that's often travel freezes. I predict we're going to see this. I'm recording this in April. I think this is going to go on for a long time. Trade wars are not overnight. They're generally, Warren Buffett said, a tariff is an equivalent of a trade war, using the word war. So it's strong, and this can go on for a very, very long time. So you need to up-level how you sell. So what I do is I change my message every time, right? When I sell in an economic uncertain time, I'll say, I'd go to a CFO, a COO, a CEO, and I say, right now, economic times are very uncertain. I'm offering you a complimentary assessment to look at ways to actually improve profitability by reducing labor costs and inefficient processes and manual processes that you're paying your people to do, as well as to consolidate different technologies where you have a lot of resources, time, and vendor costs associated. And if you sell a platform like a Salesforce, Oracle, SAP, Google, AWS, Workday, where there's a lot of different applications that you can consolidate, this is the time to lean into that platform play, okay? So instead of trying to pitch the value of my products and services, I just try to sell the assessment where I can look at their business for free, bring in my resources, okay, and come up to them with a business case that identifies opportunities for them to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and consolidate technologies. That's the pitch. And I take it to a CFO or an executive and get buy-in to go and actually go down and do this assessment, okay? And it's a big commitment, but all I'm doing is a deep discovery. I'm just leaning into this as a way to improve profitability versus, again, other benefits that the solutions may provide in a time of growth, for example, because it's going to be a time of contraction. I predict that. And in order for you guys to be able to learn how to do this, selling an assessment, doing a business value assessment, understanding how to do deep discovery, this is a very strategic sell. It's very imperative that you learn how to speak to executives, how to speak their language, how to do deep assessments, do discoveries that not only go high, right, and go down, but also go wide across different parts of the organization, because politics becomes more important, right? Projects have different levels of prioritization that they would have in the past, where only the most important projects are prioritized, and only, frankly, the ones that are going to show a really, really strong ROI very quickly. Those are the ones that are going to be prioritized. So you need to know how to do an ROI. You need to know how to get to executives. You need to know how to sell assessments, and you need to know how to actually execute the assessment. And that's exactly what we teach in Untap Your Sales Potential. You also need to know how to trust the process, not freak out because your customers are freaking out. If you're freaking out because you're hearing we don't have money, we have budget freezes, how am I going to pay my bills? It's equally important not only that you learn the skills to sell in this environment, but you learn to stay consistent and not let your fears and your anxiety overwhelm you to the point where you're not working on the right things, the right RGAs. So it's imperative that you learn to stay consistent, to keep your mindset cool, calm, and collected, and to not freak out, and to work as if times are great. The key to my success is I work consistently, whether it's good times or bad times, whether I lost 700,000 in market value or whether I gained 500,000. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's a stoic approach to staying the course, and you need to learn the mindset to not let your fears overtake you, to not get negative, to not get stressed out, and just to trust the process. And that's exactly why I encourage you strongly to talk to my team. This is exactly what we teach. Okay, if you do not up-level yourself, you will get left behind in these frankly uncertain times, and you will feel it on your bank account, you will feel it in your mental health, you will feel it in your stress levels. So come get the support you need, learn the skills you need, learn how to work consistently, learn how to work strategically, learn how to get to executives. If you're interested in learning how Untap Your Sales Potential can help you in these areas, now is the imperative time. Okay, this is not a sales pitch. I am telling you for yourself, step up, because it's going to come. Okay, it's only the beginning right now. You got to step up. You got to learn these skills. And if you don't do it with me, do it with someone else. Lean in to learning how to be a strategic seller and do top-down selling, and then get these deep discovery assessments done where you can show your clients a deep, compelling ROI. That is the way you're going to be able to improve profitability, you're going to increase margins, and you're going to be able to speak the language which executives are thinking about now when they're freaking out as well. Okay, if you want to book a call, you can book a call right here. Use this link, talk to my team. We'll talk about how we can help you up level, whether it's in a group environment or one-on-one environment with me and one of my coaches. Do yourself a favor and get the help you need. It's going to be harder than ever to work in tech sales. You've got to get ahead of it right now. I'll see you guys later. I'm Ian Koniak. Have a good one.